video is going to be a what sold video for the week of November 8th to November 14th. I'm going to start with my lowest performing platform first and then move to eBay because I have been laser focused on eBay for 2021. If you are new here, I'm Bob. I'm a part-time reseller. I do have a full-time 9-to-5 job, and I'm making this video now because I'm in the middle of a kitchen remodel and I've been drywalling all day. So this is the easiest video for me to make right now. So I'm gonna scoot over and we're gonna go with Etsy. I had 2 sales on Etsy. Both of them were really good sales and I'm very excited. So I sold this vintage 1960s Basler German made like romantic top, beautiful navy top, and it sold for $32.54, so that includes both shipping and tax as well on Etsy. I'm just so glad that some of the vintage pieces are starting to move from that one estate sale. If you don't know what estate sale I'm talking about, I will link it up above, but I just found an absolute treasure trove of beautiful 60s, 70s, and 80s pieces, both American and German made. So very happy to see some more pieces from that sell. And then this piece is a vintage Georges Briard glass charger plate. So this is the pattern Olympia Goddess. This is probably from like the 70s, because in the late 60s, 70s is when Georges Briard started doing kitschy things. But I have never seen an Olympia plate of this size before. Just an interesting thing to note when you're trying to do keywords. If you have a large serving plate, 14 inches or larger, that is considered a charger plate, and people do look those up when they're trying to be fancy. But it sold for $74.69. I technically sold for $69 and then it's like $6 in tax or something. But on Etsy, if you pay like more than $35 for something, you get free shipping, which I know a lot of people left Etsy. I know Jocelyn from KZ Lamp Lady left Etsy because of that policy. So I did build this into the price. So don't worry, I didn't lose money. I only paid like $6 for this plate. So very nice profit there. And then we're gonna go over to eBay and I'm gonna switch sides because, to be honest, sitting still hurts really bad because of how much I've been working doing this kitchen remodel. I promise in my next video I will do a before and after so you can see why everything just hurts and I didn't bother to do anything to myself to make me not look like I feel like crap. But this is a vintage Wrangler pearl snap piece. It's a 2XL. I paid I think $3 and $4 for this, and it sold for $19.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. Not just regular first class shipping, but also shipping internationally. This went internationally. I then also sold this vintage 1992 Atlanta Braves mug. This was also from an estate sale, and I paid like $1/4 for this, and it sold actually pretty quickly. It sold within a week of me listing it. I think it was because it's still kind of close to the end of the World Series, so maybe people still have baseball on the brain. Then I sold this Columbia vest. This also went internationally and they paid $17, but it was free shipping to Kentucky, and then they had to pay whatever international shipping it was. That was very much a surprise to me, but I'm glad it's moved off to a new home and I hope they enjoyed it. I had a lot of international sales. As I'm going through these and I'm like, wow, I really did. So this Elvis cassette was new and sealed, and I found it at an estate sale. I think I paid 50 cents for this thing and it sold for $8.50 and the buyer paid for shipping internationally, like to Kentucky, and then also paid additional international shipping as well. So they actually paid twice the amount that this originally cost because it had like a $4.69 tag on the back, which was the original price. So they paid almost double what it originally cost, and then they probably paid just that much to ship it to them as well, which I thought was interesting. Something that did stay in the States, this is a Colorado University hat. I think I paid $3 for this and it sold for $8 and the buyer paid for shipping. I like hats just like I like ties because they're easy to ship, you can't break them, and they don't take up that much space when you have like an entire, you just like put all the snapbacks together. They're awesome, and they're almost always, just like ties, really cheap. So happy to get that listed and gone within a week. I was actually surprised that this didn't take that long to sell. I have a couple of the larger ones of these lint brushes, duck lint brushes on Etsy, but Etsy is a slower platform anyway. But this one was a little bit different, so I just threw it up on eBay, and it sold within like a month of me listing it for $7.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. So that was like a normal thing in the late 70s, early 80s, was to have a manual lint brush, like before the 3M Scotch sticky pads that you just throw away. You would have like an actual brush that you would brush your clothes off with. Another international sales, this was a vintage Elvo Bean Goose Down XL jacket. This sold for $20 and the buyer paid for shipping, both to Kentucky and also international shipping as well. So happy that this is gone. I paid, I think, $2 for this at an estate sale, so really happy about that. I was so excited when this sale came through. I paid up for this set of 7 Libby Staccato mid-century modern glasses. So if you find this particular pattern, it's not just on these Pilsner glasses, you can also find them on goblets as well. If you find this pattern and it's in much better shape than the ones I found, you could get really good money for them. I still doubled my money on this set, but I still doubled my money on this set even with the dishwasher fading. Someone put these glasses in the dishwasher and just absolutely ruined the gold on most of them, but they still sold for $58.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. These went to California, so really happy that that has moved on to a new home and that I didn't have to sit on them for that long. I think I had them for maybe 6 weeks, so I'm glad they're gone. This is a vintage Fenton Uranium glass Custard Dove. I bought this at Design and Consign, I think, for $12. I thought I was gonna get more for it, but I didn't. I mean, I got $30 for it if you put the shipping and the purchase price together. This is a first class item, so it didn't cost $10 in shipping, so I still kind of got what I wanted for it, and I'm glad it's gone off to a new home. I then sold 3 of these Daniel Silva books. I only put this one image here because of the fact that instead of doing the buy more save more, they just bought 3 books individually, and they didn't buy them all in the same day. They bought one day and then 2 the next day, even though I shipped them all together. So I sold 3 of the books. They paid shipping every time, and yeah, I'm glad that these are moving. I was so discouraged, and it turns out that it was actually still a pretty good deal. This is me not knowing pop culture. So knowing pop culture enough to know I should pick this up, not knowing pop culture enough to realize that I should have upped the price on this. So, you know, I know pretty much Taylor Swift stuff sells really well. She also has her own line of clothing. So I knew for $2 picking this up in South Carolina was going to be an easy sale. The reason why I said not knowing pop culture enough to know to up the price is because Taylor Swift has re-released her Red album because, you know, the old recording company had all of her masters with this really poopy person. I don't know enough to actually be able to speak on it intelligently because I don't care enough to speak about it intelligently. But yeah, the Red album's out again by Taylor. Girl, take your power back. And I'm not trying to sound facetious. I'm just very tired. But it sold for internationally for $14.87, and the buyer paid for shipping. I probably could have gotten $24.87 out of it if I had realized that the Red album was being re-released this week. Or last week. Oh well. This item I will never pick up again. I just figured that it was new tags, it was straight leg, it would be a good sale. But this Banana Republic Heritage pair of pants stuck around for almost a year. It sold for $11.99 and the buyer paid for shipping. I am just grateful it's gone. I got my money back, and yeah, it's off to a new home where hopefully it'll get worn. This is the reason why I hate it when stores tape glassware together or ceramic together, I would not have purchased this fairy light if it had not been taped together, because inside one of the support feet inside of this Indiana glass fairy light was broken. It had broken off entirely, which is why if you actually look at the picture, it's kind of tilted. So it still functions as a fairy light, and if you like turn it just right, you can't tell that one of the supports is broken, and it still functions just fine. But I did price it accordingly at about, you know, most of these were going for $15–20 because fairy lights are very in vogue right now, especially on TikTok. So it sold for $9.87 and the buyer paid for shipping, and I'm glad that didn't get smashed and trashed, but still upset that I got suckered into buying something that was damaged because I couldn't open it. And then this I recently picked up at an estate sale that I didn't film at. I did show it on my Instagram, so if you aren't following on Instagram and you want to see more of me for some reason, it's here. But I paid $2 for this new old stock 1999 Super Soaker charger when it was 50 degrees outside when I bought this, and it was 50 degrees outside when I sold it. And it went to New York, which I know it's much colder there. But it sold for $16 and the buyer paid $15 for shipping. So that was very fast. I sold it within a week. And that is everything I sold today. I will have to forgive me for not doing a history of fact. My brain is just done, if you can't tell from the fact that everything is drooping right now. But I will see you guys hopefully with a new kitchen and before and afters and more energy for the next video. But until then, bye! Bye.
Hero, hero, I wanna be a hero, hero.